What's up, SNA Assassinators? It's the Super Ninja Austin back here with another podcast. And we're going to be talking about the NXT review video because the WWE week does not stop. And it continues like since yesterday on Monday Night Raw with all the WWE shows as of right now in September. We got all the WWE shows going to be on the same channel of the USA Network. And also you got starting off with Nathan Frazier and Axiom taking on the Street Profits due to the Rascals could not make it for the match. And then I'm not sure what exactly the reason why, but we're gonna figure that out as soon as we get into the middle of the show. But for now, I'm gonna talk about the beginning of it, like where we got Trick Williams was getting out of his car and heading into the ring to get ready for his big number one contenders last man standing match in the main event of NXT. Along with Jada Parker was getting in the building, and happened to be right near Trick Williams, and she was heading inside with a baseball bat. That's where we got Julia was going from the other side, and then same with Jordan Grace, like on the other. And this is where we got the match starting off with the NXT Tag Team titles on the line, like with the current champs taking on the former champs. That's where then we got this is where Montez Ford was like, yeah, like we're gonna do this, baby. That's where he looked right in the camera, like, yeah, we're going to be two-time NXT Tag Team Champions and a four-time overall WWE Tag Team Champions. That's where they're like, yeah! And then that's where then we got them getting ready in the ring, like doing their, after doing their little entrance dance, like they normally do, like if every day is a party, like with the theme song, it's very catchy, I bring you sweat. Your body can, don't mean to brag with about it, yeah. I bring the swag like your body can. It's in the bag, man, I got it. Yeah, you get the point. But that's where, it started off, I believe, with Nathan Frazier and Montez Ford, where the fans gave a warm welcome back chant to the former NXT Tag Team Champion, the Street Profits. That's where they were chanting repeatedly, like, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, repeatedly. This is where the Montez Ford was like, what a one. It's like, this is where the Street Profits are like, what a very lovely, positive welcome that these fans gave us. Like it's been years since the last time we were a part of this roster on WWE. That's where fans were chanting, they want to smoke. Like they were repeatedly saying that. And I made a mistake about the NXT Tag Team Championship side of the match. It started off with actually Axiom and Montez Ford with them doing a grappling battle, but this is where Montez Ford got him in a headlock. This is where then Axiom was like, all right, you may have got me now, but you're not going to have me down for long. This is where then he throws him right to the bottom corner rope. Montez Ford shoulder tackles him right to the ground. Montez Ford was like, who like that? Like, well, I just did this. Where the fans are like, yay! Like, this is why we love you, Montez. This is where then he then hits a waist slam right onto what's his name, the Axiom, like about 3 straight times. Is where then Axiom was like you're not gonna be doing this for long, but this is where Montez Ford was like too late, I'm already doing this. This is where he Irish whipped right to the left side. This is where he flipped right over like into a slide duck. This is where then he tried to go for a running left side when he was in that corner, but this is where he gets arm dragged, but Montez Ford somehow flipped right out of this grass and hit a headlock right to the ground in the middle of the ring. This is where Montez Ford tried to take him right towards his teammate Angelo Dawkins. Is where then Montez Ford went for a wrist lock. We got Axiom to go for a cartwheel flip into a drop kick right into the face. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline. Montez Ford did hit a shoulder tackle. He ducked out of a clothesline. This is where Angelo Dawkins go for a shoulder tackle. Nathan Frazier then try to attack Angelo Dawkins, but some of the reason is the reason that he was not successful is he did not know what move to hit in particular. So he could end up getting attacked by the big man of the Street Profits. He then gets he runs right to the right side. This is where then Nathan Frazier go for a slide duck and a leapfrog. This is where then he did a cartwheel flip. Like once after he, and Nathan Frazier did a leap over him. This where then he started doing the same to Nathan Frazier until he tried to go for a clothesline on the back close, with him going zooming like back left and right until he drop kicked him from the right side rope. right into the in the ringside. This is where Nathan Frazier went right to the right side, tried to go for a suicide dive, but he gets end up with a right hand to the face. That is where the Nathan Frazier then try to Irish whip him to the right side after Angelo Dawkins tried to attempt to do so, but he countered. Here's where then he dunked out of a clothesline from Angelo Dawkins once he was trying to run up and try to hit one. But this is where we got and what's his name? Did not know what to do in the rope bounded position, Nathan Frazier. So this is where we got what's his name? Angelo Dawkins did a shrug emoji, hits the spinning elbow right onto Nathan Frazier. This is where Angelo Dawkins that was very easy. This is where then we got that's where then we got But this is where he tried to collect Nathan Frazier right to the upper right side. But this is where we got Nathan Frazier took a page out of his former teacher's playbook, which is none other than Seth Rollins, which he clearly went to Seth Rollins' wrestling school. But this is the move that he must have learned from one of the first moves, along with the double avalanche suplex and the Phoenix Splash. This is where then he hits that facebuster flatliner face first right onto the turnbuckle. This is where we got Frazier then tags in Axiom. This is where he started forearm striking him right to the face. This is where we got Axiom to go for an elbow strike right in the back of the head while Nathan Frazier go for the DDT. This is where then we got Axiom try to go for a pin, but this is where Montez Ford kicks out, lifting up Axiom in the process. This is where then we got that's where Axiom's like, okay, that did not work. This is where he's like, here's where then he thought for a race lock, and then we got he's like, all right, Angelo, like you're not gonna you're not gonna be in the offense position no more, like because I'm almost quite done with you. That's where Angelo Dawkins then counter, and then they're like, oh really, is that a fact? But this is where once Angelo Dawkins got him out of his grasp, this is where then I believe after Axiom got him in a headlock, he was that body line slammed him or something like, or no, it wasn't a body like drop slam. It was a exploder suplex that he did. This is where he sent him right to the bottom right side and Axiom. This is where he tried to tag him once he flipped right over to the back to the corner, but he had to redo the tag. And then and this is where Nathan Frazier finally got in the ring along with Angelo Dawkins tagging Montez Ford. That's where then Montez Ford was making the comeback first, like with him going for a clothesline. First he did to Axiom, then he did two to Nathan Frazier. This is where he then outsmarted him when he ducked out of a clothesline from Nathan Frazier, went to the bottom corner rope. He did wait right after him. He hits a flying clothesline from hell, like if he's his own version of Bradshaw or JBL, whatever you want to call him. That's where he kicked him right in the gut. That's where he swift kicked him right in the head. But this is where once he tried to go for a step up in Sagiri, but this is where we got Frazier was a little too fast for him at that moment by slide ducking him. This is where then we got what's his name? Montez Ford to try to go for a splash onto Frazier, but this is where he kicked him right in the face. He then slides right up on the top rope, or not the top rope, right onto the right side onto the A. But this is where he caught him. This is where then he caught him in the springboard crossbody, turning it into the rock bottom. I was like, I hope that I hope or hope not that he does that to me one day if we were in the ring together, like if we had a dream match of some sort. But that's only if I compete in the squared circle. But of course, but anyway, this is where he hits the rock bottom on the Nathan Frazier. This is where the Montez Ford was like, I'm not done yet. This is where he got about in another finishing maneuver from his idol, the People's Champ. This is where he did his own version of the People's Elbow, like, I want the smoke. This is where he went to the dip in the right side corner. He spins around. He was like, he was about to go for the People's Elbow. He's like, psych. And he did a standing moonsault, like if he was his wife, the EST. This is where then he goes for a pin, but this is where we got Nathan Frazier got the shoulder up at 2.6, I believe. This is where Montez Ford's like, I know that's not exactly my finisher nor my signature, but it should have been something. This where then Montez Ford like maybe it would have worked if I didn't we woke him up with that moonsault. But it's where we got Montez Ford trying to go for a signature move, but he gets jawbreaker hot shot by Frazier right into the upper left side. He gets tagged in by Angelo Dawkins while Nathan tags in Axiom. This is where then we got Montez Ford to step up in Sagiri while Nathan Frazier then try to go up in the top rope, try to go for a dipping. What's that a leaping what's that fly right over Montez Ford when he tried to attack him like, but it's where once he landed right on near where Angelo Dawkins is, near the upper left side is where he gets pounce tackled. This is where he hit him so high up in the air to the point that Montez Ford had a chance to pick him up and hit a German suplex onto the luchador. Like, this is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got Axiom kicks out at the last second of the 2.999999999. My mind's going away from being through. And I shouldn't just generically call Axiom a luchador. I should say the quickest luchador in all of Lucha Libre, I guess you could say. And this is where then we got Angelo Dawkins then tag in Montez Ford. This is where then we got then they're trying to go for that spine buster or blockbuster double team maneuver until Axiom did the sliding Hurricane Rana on the Montez Ford while Nathan Frazier then went for a springboard drop kick. This is where then we got Axiom go for a super kick right into the face of Montez. This is where then Nathan Frazier go brought up on the top rope in the upper right side, hits that frog splash on the Mont. This is where then we got Nathan Frazier then hits the 450 splash, springboarding right to the right side. That's where they nearly got a 3 on this move. I thought for sure they were going to retain right here for this move alone, but unfortunately for them, Montez Ford got the shoulder up at 2.99999999999. Up to my mind, 0 point away from being 3. And that's where Booker T was like, damn, like so close. Like Chucky Ducky Quack Quack. Well, he didn't say that last one. This is where, but he did say like that was so damn close. Like I thought they had him right there, even though like Street Profits are very hard. They were hard to beat in their time in NXT in the last time, like when they were the tag team champions. But that was then. Like this is now, but still they're looking hard to beat. Like and these guys, they may be quick and all, but they have a whole lot to learn about. Fully everything about WWE, but this is where we got them hit a signature double team maneuver with Axiom trying to get the cover. They would have gotten away with it sooner if it wasn't for that meddling that Dawkins dog, which is Angelo Dawkins himself. Like, and if anybody asks in the comments what's a Dawkins dog, your guess is as good as mine. I thought it might have some kind of a very catchy ring to say about Angelo Dawkins as a nickname for when I use my version of the term meddling kids, I had to say the meddling nickname of that said wrestler. But anyways, this is where then we got he pounces on the Nathan Frazier, landing on the Axiom, hit back first on him. This is where he rolled right out of the ring. This is where then Angelo Dawkins did I believe he tagged himself in the match. And this is where he dragged the Axiom right into a perfect position in the bottom right side for a splash. This is where fans like, we want the smoke. We want the smoke. This is where Angelo Dawkins tried to go for a high flying up the heavens maneuver, like if he was a teammate Montez Ford. This is where we got Axiom hits an insecurity kick quickly up in the air. And I was like, wow, like he is the fastest luchador, but I did not know he could go be this fast. Like 2 seconds after he was just right down onto the canvas. This is where he tags in Nathan Frazier. This is where then we got him in the Spanish fly right onto what's his name, Angelo Dawkins, while Nathan Frazier was getting ready to hit the Phoenix Splash right to the upper right side, like if he was his wrestling teacher. But this is where we got what's his name, Montez Ford, then threw Axiom right to the right side. But that's where while he was doing that, while Axiom accidentally bounced. While he was doing that, like he bounced right on the ropes, which accidentally knocked over his teammate. He landed right on his family jewels, and I was like, if there was any plans that him and Thea Hale were going to start a family, it seemed like those plans are going to be put on hold for temporary purposes due to the reasons of why they cannot do so, because the family jewels that that Nathan Frazier possesses is damaged right now because he got damaged right along with his, I guess you could say, his legs and his other lower half of his body. But this is where we got Montez Ford did the shrug emoji. This is where he's like, and then he hits a zigzag on Nathan Frazier. I'm not Nathan, Axiom. He did he hits what's it called a zigzag on the Axiom, which he was like, hey, like Dolph's no longer here, like he's in the other, even though they're partnering with us, like, but still, like the only way we're gonna see him gonna be doing that, and on here on WWE is exactly in this place. If he gets the phone call from WWE. But this is where we got Montez Ford going up on the top rope while Angelo Dawkins was put him in an electric chair position. This is why they're about to win. And with that electric chair blockbuster maneuver, like they used to do back in their first run in NXT back in 2018, 2019, where they won matches with. But yeah, this is where it looked like that was about to be the case. If it wasn't for that meddling fast luchador that when Montez, or no, it wasn't like he would have won the match if it wasn't for actually them meddling. If it wasn't for the meddling gorilla weasels, I guess you could say, which is the Grills, the Destiny themselves, Tamatanga and Tongaloa, and also Jacob Fatu of the Bloodline coming and dragging Montez Ford out and cleaning out, beating the hell out of everybody involved. And that's where what's his name? The Tongans then made a huge mistake of messing with the NXT Tag Team Champions. I'm like, I'm not sure you should attack them. It's one thing you do that to the Street Profits, but with somebody like Nathan Frazier asking guys that did not do anything to you, like they're probably going to be seeking some eventual revenge from you guys. So it's best to not make some enemies, like, because that could be your weakening point, like of success with the new say reincarnation of the bloodline. But yeah, I'm just being the little messenger right here. Like, if you don't take the message, I'm just gonna leave you guys alone. But this is where then we got then Jacob Fatu brought Angelo Dawkins in the ring. This is where he hits the swanton right on him. That's where then it was. That's where they were like, yeah, like let's do like bloodline or something, like blah blah blah. Like that's where then what's his name? Vic Joseph was like, I did not know, like I was not expecting this, and I was like, yeah, me neither. Like, I believe everybody was not expecting this tonight, but let me know in the comments below about them attacking them, and do you think this could be a teaser that we could see them on a future NXT episode? Let me know in the comments. But they have been talking about so many names are going to be making their special guest appearances at the at the upcoming NXT on the debut show on the CW network. Like, not only CM Punk, but also what's his name will be there, the Miz, to bring his Miz TV segment onto the show. And who do you think is going to have it on his wrestling talk show? Like in particular, like what name you might think that he'll have on his show as the special guest on the first show on the CW? Let me know in the comment section right down below. But let's move on. And do you think that we can see some kind of a title unification, like between the WWE Tag Team Champion and the NXT Tag? I hope not. Let's hope that this is just a one-off, and we can see Nathan Frazier and Axiom whenever they get called up to the main roster, because they have been showing some very good impressions, like to the management on the main roster on the WWE Speed Show, which comes on Wednesdays exclusively on the X platform. But yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they be the next challenger for the WWE Tag Team Championship, like whenever they lose or even before they lose the NXT Tag Team Championship. But let's move on. We got and this is where then we got they showed the video of Tony D'Angelo talking to a very tall figure, like that was behind the very anonymous door, which WWE Anonymous posted on their X account, like with Tony, like they called him right on camera, like talking to a guy that was and take care of the Oba problem. And if y'all TNA fans, y'all will not believe who exactly it was, but I'm gonna talk about it as soon as when the match happens, like with when Oba Femi taking on this mystery guy that Tony D'Angelo sent sent to the Nigerian emperor's way, I guess you could say. But this is where they also start hyping up Julia in a vignette, like from her time in Marigold, and I believe in New Japan as well, but mostly Marigold, of course, which I believe WWE is doing like a partnership with them. Let me know in the comment section right down below if I'm mistaken or not on that. But also, I'll give the tag team championship match. I was thinking about the second place spot, but since it ended up in DQ, which I have no problem with that. It's just that even though it was very exciting, like to see the bloodline there on this particular episode, I just think I'm not sure if it was very necessary. I don't think it would have made the Street Profits weak with them losing this tag team championship match. So I'm just gonna have to give it a third place spot, give them the bronze award of the best match of the night, and I'll give the second place spot to Julia versus Chelsea Green, which that was up next. Which Chelsea Green was already ready, like to take on what's her name on. Chelsea Green. This is where she was trying to go for a grappling war on the Julia, but this is where Julia was like, "No, no way, Chelsea!" And this is where she just arm dragged her right to the upper right side. Here's where she's like they don't call me the what's that the international what's that the international sensation for nothing. This where then she goes for a double knees to the midsection. I was like, gee, I wonder where she got that from. Like perhaps it's from the one that's currently holding the championship that she used to hold, with even though that was like a year ago, of course, or even the beginning of this year, or wherever you want to say. But I'm not gonna talk much about it. Probably I'm gonna be talking about them tomorrow. But this is where we got Julia then go right up on the middle drop kick, right onto the middle in the middle of the ring. This is where then Julia was like, "This is very easy," even though Chelsea Green is nothing right now, like compared to other women that's gonna be there. Like even Roxanne Perez, she's not like a Roxanne Perez, even though like she may be a small type of grappler in the business, but like don't let the size fool you though. But that's where then we got this is where Julia tried to go for a suplex. Chelsea Green tried to hit her with a right hand. This is where she ducked out, tried to go for a back to belly maneuver. This is where Chelsea Green elbow striker. This is where she tried to hit her with a German suplex or a ripcord right hand, which gave a perfect distraction to the former New Japan Strong Women's Champion. But this is where she knee busted her right to the face by splitting down in the ground. This is where the Chelsea then Irish whipped her from the right side to the left side, but this is where she gets countered by Julia. This is where then she ducks out of a clothesline that Julia was trying to plant on the hot mess, the residential hot mess, I guess you could call her. This is where she tried to go for a pump boot to the face, which she successfully did, but it was not as strong as someone like Sheamus does. This is where then we got this is where then she went right to the back of the right side, but she gets hit with a spinning right hand to the face. This is where she went right to the left. This is where then she goes for her leg sliding, try to go for a like a crucifix slam, but this is where she turned into some kind of like a Black Widow maneuver, and she got it locked in. But it was along with the abdominal stretch though. She has a name for it. I totally forgot. The spider web. That's what she called it. That's where then Chelsea Green looked like she was about to tap out, but this is where she was like no, this is where she's trying to reach for the ropes. This is where she managed to get to the middle ropes, but this is where then she was this is where Julia was like, oh crud, she got into the ropes. She's like, no matter, I can turn this spider web submission maneuver into a sunset flip. That's why it's there for, but it only got her like a 2.1 count. This is where she was yeah, perhaps that was too weak. And this is where she tried to hit her with her finishing knee strike that she did, that she usually does, in their time in Japan, whether if it was with Marigold, New Japan, Stardom, or whatever Japanese wrestling promotion that she wrestled for. And I didn't mean that by disrespect, but I say whatever. I'm just saying, it could be anywhere. Genuinely, she did that move in those places, like she did in WWE as well. This is where then Chelsea Green then slide away and went to the left side. She was like, no, I'm not ready. I wasn't ready. This is where the referee's like, can you just get back in the ring? There's no timeouts in pro wrestling. And this is where the Chelsea Green's like, yeah, I know, so shut up. And this is where then we got that's where we got what's her name? Julia then hits her with a big right elbow right to the face onto the residential Karen. This is where then she tried to drag her right back in the ring, but she end up dragged right into the middle rope by the by the former women's tag team champion. Hot shot her right to the left side, hit her face first right onto the turnbuckle, like in the upper left side. Is where then we got Chelsea Green and went up right up in the same corner mid turnbuckle. This is where we got Chelsea Green going for a sleeper. This is where she starts squeezing her, twisting her over. This is where we got Julia then trying to go for what that the pipe dream slam that looked like an electric chair, but this is where we got Chelsea Green and hit her with a back suplex, or whether a German suplex. It looked like either one the way she slammed her. But this is where we got Chelsea Green, and this is where we got Chelsea Green to try to hit her with that other finisher that she does, which is that which was like a spine buster turned into a flatliner kind of combo. This is where then she goes for a pin, but this is where we got Julia didn't go for a kick out at 2.6, but when she tried to go for a kick at 2, but it ended up but Julia ends up kicking out at 2.2. Is where the Chelsea Green is like, come on, like that should have been a 3, like that should be 2, like come on, you incompetent official. Or else I'm gonna tell Ava on you. This where then the referee's like, all right, go ahead, like who like and see what side who she will not be taking. Where then we got Chelsea Green then I believe trying to go for what submission hold was it? It was like a waist scissor lock, I believe. That's where then we got Julia then somehow elbows out of it. That's where she got her like pinned right onto the floor with her like right on top of her and started hitting her with some right hand strikes until like they start going for a slap war, playing wrestling tennis with a slap to each other until Julia won the slapping wrestling tennis. This is where then we got. That's where then she ended up hitting the flying boot right to the face. That's where then she hits a spinning back suplex. That's where then we got Julia then put her head right back up by slipping it back so she can see where her opponent is. That's where the Julia then hits the drop kick right into the face. That's where we got. That's where the fans were chanting for Julia, like Julia, Julia. That's where she spin Chelsea Green right to the left side, hits her with that the neck snapping neck breaker, right draped with her draping right onto the bottom, with her legs draped right into the bottom corner ropes. This is where then we got Julia was like I'm coming after you, Roxy. After I take care of Miss Pretty Karen here. This is where then the fans like, do you and this is where she asked the fans, do you want her to finish her off? This is where fans like, yes, we do. Like, come on, like hit her with the knee. And this is where the Chelsea Green's like, no, I think I'll pass. Right after she heard the fans shout that, she rolled right to the right side corner. This is where we got Julia's like, what the hell is Chelsea doing? And this is where maybe her coming to the ring side was her benefit, like to getting back into the offense side by slamming Julia waist first right onto down the announce table, and then she followed that up by throwing her over on the announce table. That's where then we got. That's where we got Chelsea Green and threw Julia right back in the ring. This is where then we got her trying to go for a leg drop, but this is where Julia moved out of the way. She hit her with that very unspoken knee right into the face, I guess you could call it. That's where the Julia was like, I'm not quite done yet. Like, even though I did put all my opponents away with this maneuver, including a certain pillow that took her championship away. But this is where then we got Julia then like body slammed her. This is where then she hits this like this that northern legs bomb or whatever it's called. Like in this. And this is where she got the 1, 2, 3, scoring the victory to challenge challenge Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship on October 1st on their debut episode of NXT on the CW channel. But who do you think is going to win that match? Let me know in the comments down below. I think it will indeed be Julia right here. I'm already predicting it right away. Like, and man, like I was thinking to myself, like they're definitely making the CW debut show like if it's a pay-per-view rather than their weekly show. But yeah, like but this is where we got Trick Williams that was in backstage, like with the interview, I believe was Kelly Kincaid. And this is where then we got but this is where then we got Trick. This is what this is where the Trick Williams was like, but yeah, like this is where we got Ethan. This is where we got all ego Ethan Page and this is where the Trick Williams was like all ego like yeah. He's like I'm like yeah like I'm coming after you like because Pete Dunne like you like I'm gonna finally finish you off, and I'm gonna let the whole world know this tonight. Like P, like you are, but like I gotta admit you and give you your flowers while I can, like because you are undeniably like like you are clear and you're undeniably a talented individual in this business. Like, but at the end of the day, you still butch. Like, but I do respect your what you do in this business. Like, respect your abilities in general. It's like, but tonight, like I'm gonna be the last one standing, and then you're gonna be seeing me be as the two-time NXT champion. But that's where we got Jordan Grace. Like was earlier in the PC, getting ready for the what's that open challenge match. And but yeah, I totally forgot to tell you that the Julia match with Chelsea Green was the second place spot of the best match of the night award. But let me know down in the comment section right down below on what's your opinion onto this matter. Like on that matter, like do you think that match definitely deserved the second place spot? I sure definitely do because she definitely showed us like what she's capable of doing, and that would become the NXT Women's. I believe she should be doing this to all her opponents, not in the squashing way, but with her like just gonna defeat them regardless, like on what the results are like in during the match. But yeah, this is where we got what's her name? Uh That's where we got Jordan Grace was sending anybody that steps up to her in her open challenge for the TNA Knockouts Women's Championship tonight. This is where she was like the NXT Women's Division right now is stacked from top to bottom. Like I gotta point out, usually like and more of the forbidden of the opponent that I've been defeating here, like so far, like but the more if I do that, the more the prestigious of this title comes. Like because I defeated a current WWE wrestler to become this championship. Like, but it was when she, was still in TNA though. Like, this was before she even made the return to the WWE. But it is what it is. She was like, and I'm the women's number one. But during that, when he said the final line, this is where of Jordan Grace saying this is where we heard our boy, the young OG Javon Evans saying like, your boy is bouncy, which is the intro of the young OG's what's that entrance theme music? That's where like I was like, they really they low key totally forgot about this about Javon Evans, I mean not Javon. Like, did they totally forgot about Jordan Grace was on the segment? Like somebody in the production truck or in the gorilla that whoever that controls the music, like they totally made a humongous mistake of playing the music before he can even come out and even and right after or even before Jordan Grace was done with her videos or video message to any of her anybody that's her next challenger or victim or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, this is where we got Javon Evans. Then head out to the ring because you have a match against Charlie Dempsey for the NXT Heritage Cup trophy. All thanks to Ren Sinclair of automatically giving him a shot at the Heritage Cup trophy. Because the show a token of her appreciation of watching the trophy that one night a couple weeks ago, like from getting stolen. But yeah, I was like, what the hell? Like that's another way to earn a shot at the Heritage Cup trophy by doing a very kind gesture. Like I wish I was around in WWE. Like maybe I can hold on to anybody's belt and maybe I can earn a shot at the championship. Well, now I'm starting to sound like R-Truth of the IWC now. Like being confused onto that statistic that don't even exist. But anyway, this is where we got But yeah, tonight's NXT also was like a pay-per-view. Like, even though it was clearly just a normal weekly episode of NXT, like episode of the black and yellow and gold show, I should say. And what's that and also it continues like that, like, because next week we will see NXT will have some more exciting moments to be happening on that week, because we're going to be talking about at the end of the video, like who's going to be the next person that's going to be making an appearance on that week's NXT. But we're going to but next up we got let's see. But before we do have the Heritage Cup Championship match, that's where we got a backstage segment between what's a backstage segment in the women's locker room with Kalani Jordan and what's her name, Lola Vice. Yeah, that's where her name is. That's where they start training, like to get ready for a potential match against Fatal Influence. This is where we got what's her name, Kalani Jordan's like, I'm totally proud of you of how you've been training, Miss Vice. And then this is where then we got what's her name, JC Jane was like oh, like, looky here, like it isn't all. If it isn't Kalani and her training, or one of her, if it isn't good old Kalani and her and one of her trainee wrestling students that's doing a session in the locker room or something like that. This is where she was like, and it's cute that Eric. Yeah, Eric, and it's lovely that the rest of the students are warming up, like to get taken down by the fatal the fatal influencers. That's what she said, basically. And that's where she was like so which one of you broads, young broads, wants to step up against one of us? And just like, and she was like so yeah, like, who wants to face the juggernaut? That's what she said in the sarcastic voice. That's where then Kalani Jordan was like whoa, like. And that's where she was like, and that's where no, it was Kalani Jordan. It was Lola Vice was like, okay, like, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. You're being way too annoying right now. And also, like, you like I would rather face Kalani Jordan and another NXT Women's North American Champion match against the self-proclaimed locker room leaders of the locker room. So and this is where she was like, oh, okay, like, which one of you girls want to step up with Latina Heat? And this is where then JCJ was like, first of all, you don't tell us what to do. Like, and this is where then Fallon Henry was like, who do you think she is? Like, and this is where Lola Vice was like, yeah, like, if y'all back, like, because if, like, this where then she was like, if y'all back down, like one of y'all, like, y'all making a huge mistake. But that's where JC Jane and Lola Vice nearly got into a fight. But luckily, the rest of the women's locker room then came in and tried to break the fight up, like, and make sure that this doesn't end with somebody getting hurt. This is where then. Like, this is where then we got Jakar Jackson and what's her name, Lash Legend, that was in the right corner side of the locker room, was cracking up with a huge grin. It's like, like these two these two women were about to go wild on one another. This is where she was like, and if I bet my money, it was definitely gonna be on Lola Vice. But this is where we got the match starting off with the next match was starting with Javon Evans taking on the Heritage Cup champion Charlie Dempsey. When Charlie Dempsey tossed him right to the bottom corner, this is where he was like, like, what are you gonna, like, you got any other what's that, like, you got any other impressive moves that you got for the master of the no quarter catch crew? This is where then Javon Evans like, as a matter of fact, I do. And then this is where he tried to do it, but this is where he gets intercepted once again by the son of the Blackpool gentleman, I guess you could call him. This is where he wrist locked. This is where he started wrist locking Javon Evans. This is where he tried to go for a double, if not triple, kip ups right in the air. And this is where he goes for an arm drag, a wrist lock arm drag right into the upper left side. This is where Charlie Dempsey started kicking the rope because he has a short temper. Like, when he don't get his way, start throw a little tantrum in the squared circle. This is where we're like, okay, like the only thing good about this, like he did not pin me for the first round. Is where he goes for another grapple, but it's where this time Javon Evans was lucky to third time was a charm to hit a wrist lock onto Charlie did, but this is where he did a handstand flip right onto right on the side of Javon Evans. This is where he tried to turn the table. But this is where Javon Evans like, there's no turning tables like on this one. Like this is where he's like, it's always gonna be right side up, even if you turn it upside down. This is where he did just start going for a wrist lock right onto continuously onto Charlie, but this is where Dempsey then monkey flips Evans right into the right side, but this is where he still was up and still got a wrist lock locked in onto Charlie, but this is where Charlie goes for a running flip, turned it to a kip up. This is where then we got Charlie Dempsey to go for a snapmare. This is where then he try to go for a headlock, but this is where Javon Evans strike out and try to go for a Kimura lock. Like, no, you don't. Like, it's where then he then turned it to a wrist lock of his own. This is where we got Charlie Dempsey like, no, like, let me go. This is where Javon's like, if you want me to let you go, you better let me go. This is where Charlie Dempsey was like how that's possible when you're the one primarily holding on to me. And this is where Charlie Dempsey's like, okay, like if you say if you say so, like it may not be easy, but I got one movement in mind. He needs him right in the midsection. He monkey flips him right up to the upper right side, like making him be more bouncy than ever. This is where then he European uppercut his left arm when he wrist locked it. This is where then he then bent it back in the sideways position. Like in something that you do not want your arm to be stretched far. This is where he tried to go for a cover by putting both arms down to make his shoulders go down. But he only got him like a one even count with Javon Evans somehow got all his strength to lift up his arm. This is where he tried to go for again, but he gets another one even count. Like, and he always keep kicking out one even repeatedly. Like, every time I try to go for a pin, but this is where we got Javon Evans. This is where then we got Charlie Dempsey trying to lift him up in the air, but he decided to go for a flying monkey flip. This is where then we got the Charlie Dempsey go for a monkey flip like of his own. Like this was like a bouncy contest, I guess you could say. No pun intended, because they'll keep bouncing on the top ropes on each side until like we got Javon Evans won the bouncy war because he is the master of bounces. Like if he's the Tigger of WWE, that's where then once he did go for an arm drag though, this is where the clock went like the timer went off like into zero and the first round was over in this Heritage Cup match stipulation, and they had to go back to their post like if it's a boxing match like all the way to round 6. But yeah, this is where they went to the corner. This is where we got Cedric Alexander was helping them out, like wiping any sweat off of him, while Ren Sinclair and Miles Bourne did the same to Charlie Dempsey of the No Quarter Catch crew. And this is where then we got the second round was up. This is where we got Javon Evans to go for a splash on him. But this is where we got Charlie Dempsey counter and try to hit the most devastating move and all of professional wrestling, the surprise roll up. But this is where he then tried to go for a pin, go for a flip and put his legs up and what's that? Put his foot down, like and try to bend his, I'll say his what's that is bend his torso up or something like that is where, but this is where Javon Evans counters. He goes for not counter, kick out, and he goes for a springboard sunset flip, pins him down on the ground, but he only got like a 2.6, I believe. This is where, but Charlie Dempsey did Irish whip Javon Evans right to the left side. Once he got back up, he tried to go for a hip toss, but this is where Javon Evans counter. Try to go over hip toss on his own, but Charlie Dempsey nearly countered. But this is where we got Javon Evans then improvised and tried to go for his leg right over Charlie Dempsey's head, like if he was about to go for the playmaker or ozone or whatever move that you would call that maneuver. But he flips right up, looked like about to go for a suplex, like all the athletic wrestlers do. Even Bryan Danielson did at one hand. But this is where we got. But this is where Charlie Dempsey counter out. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline. Javon Evans dug. This is where he tried to go for a sunset flip pin. This is where he tried, but he then turned it to a backslide. But this is where Charlie Dempsey's like, oh, no, you don't. Like, I'm going to go on for my own. But this is where we got Charlie Dempsey, like, trying to go, but nothing was working. He had to hit him back first right onto the turnbuckle. This is where he tried to. And where the Charlie Dempsey hit his finisher, I believe, which was that dragon double Nelson suplex, which which it got him the 3 count, and I was like, wow, like I would not expect him to get a pinfall success like that on at the 3 on the second round. But this is where they were getting fixed up, like to get ready and get healthy for the second round. This is where they were like they got freshened up by help of their respective teammates with Javon Evans with his uncle Cedric. Well, not literally his uncle, but his wrestling uncle, I guess you could say. While Charlie Dempsey was getting help from both Ren Sinclair and what's her name? Her and Miles Bourne, which is the heel. This is where we got them hitting each other with submission after submission after submission, like on the third round. Until we got once we got Charlie Dempsey doing that neck breaking submission, that's where like Javon Evans flipped right out of it. This is where we got this is where then Javon Evans then got a pinfall cover onto him. This is where then we got but this is where then this is where he got a pinfall cover from him, and that's where we got him then trying to get back in his game. This is where then he Irish whips Charlie Dempsey right into the midsection. This is where then we got like right into the fourth round, which they were in the fourth round during this where was happening. Is where he had a drop kick that sent Charlie Dempsey on the outside. This is where Charlie Dempsey like you can do this. Like you just need to have a good strategy to use for your advantage. This is where then Charlie Dempsey was like, yeah, but what is there any advice that you could get like you can give me right now, like Miss Pretty Face with a big brain, and this where then Ren Sinclair was like, as a matter of fact, I do. Like I have a little advice, like just think about what your father would do in this situation against his opponents. Like he was like, oh, like now I know what you're coming from. Like you're up to something, Ren, and this where he got in the ring, running knee strike right to the face after getting drop kicked by Javon Evans. That's where did he try to go for a pin. That's where he goes for a cover. He almost got a 3 with this maneuver, which was impressive. But Javon Evans kick out at 2.1, I guess you could say. That's where then Charlie Dempsey goes for a spinning neck breaker. This is where then he went for a twisting neck breaker. This is where Javon Evans like, my neck. Like this is where he then tried to go for it again. This is where then we got him about hitting him with a second neck breaker. Anyway, we got that's where they try to go for a cover. That's where we got but it only got Javon Evans got the shoulder up at 2.3. This is where Charlie Dempsey is like, I thought for sure that was gonna be a 3 again, but not as much as the last maneuver, which was the running knee strike like my dad used to do. It's where then Charlie Dempsey got him into a guillotine choke. This is where then we got That's where then he was like, Javon was like, no, man, like I'm not gonna tap. And this is where then he start hitting him, start punching him, striking him. That's where Javon was like, you can do every move in the world. Nothing's not gonna stop me from hitting this submission hold. This is where he got him in a guillotine choke. But that's where it looked like 1 second of a clip, it looked like Javon Evans was about to knock out and then and then about to lose by by a knockout submission, I guess you could say. But luckily, Javon Evans retry again and try to wake himself up. That's where he picks him up, hit a suplex right into the back first, into it breaks the hold in that way, suplexing him right back first into the middle. That's where Ren Sinclair and Miles Bourne were totally freaking out into this onto the situation. Is where Javon Evans like, you're looking at the new Heritage Champion. That's where then he tried to hit him with a right strike, but this it was a right European uppercut actually. But this is where Charlie Dempsey hit one right back at the young OG. But this is where he fought right back, started hitting some uppercuts like if it was Cesaro and Randy Orton all over again, like when they were hitting each other with European uppercuts, like back in the 2013 era of WWE, which I totally missed, by the way, but totally missed that era. Like that was the golden era of the PG era, yeah, for sure. But it's where then we got but this is where they start hitting some European uppercuts repeatedly right into with more and more and more until Charlie Dempsey slapped him right in his chest. He hits him with a double underhook suplex. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but the referee started counting like 1, 2. But it's where then we got But this is where then we got Charlie Dempsey trying to. I have a better idea. I just gonna put him out for sure before the second mark was there. But he must have been looking at the clock at the last second because it started ticking fast until we got the 1 second mark, like a second right before, like he can even you can make him put him asleep. That's what the referee's like. Let go, like Charlie, like you're like he needs a breather, like in the like the clock, he needs a breather, and besides, like the clock went out, like you need to get. That's where Cedric Alexander pushed him right off. That's where the Charlie. This is where he tried to pull Charlie Dempsey right off of Javon Evans, which he was trying to be the good Samaritan. But this is where we got Miles Bourne, and I like how he was touching his teammate, and he started pushing Cedric Alexander. But Cedric Alexander did not like that, so he pushed him right back. They nearly got into an altercation in the ring. That's where the referee was like y'all stop, like y'all to be in the ringside. Y'all supposed to be the guys. Y'all to be the hype men, not the fight men. And he was rhyming here, so he was saying something that was totally right. I mean, even if it did not rhyme, it still would have been something right to say. But this is where we got Charlie Dempsey. Then drink a little water that Brent Sinclair gave him. This is where we got Javon Evans. Then go. This is where the Javon Evans he wiped his sweat with the towel that what's his name? Cedric Alexander gave to him. This is where we got him. Then the match got started once again. This is where Charlie Dempsey tried to go for a clothesline. He ducks out of it. This is where he's trying to springboard right on the rope, but he end up getting hit with a European uppercut. I was like, now we know that who's the next Claudio Castagnoli in WWE. But that's where he tried to go for like a dragon suplex again, trying to get a double whammy onto Javon Evans, but he finally realized that the lightning did not struck twice, but into the last minute is where Javon Evans flipped him right over into a wheelbarrow position, into a surprise roll-up, which is known as the most devastating move in all professional wrestling, but only got him up. That's where we got Javon Evans only got a 2.8 count. However, this is where he goes for a running boot right to the face onto the second generation wrestler. This is where he springboards right to the top corner rope, hits a bouncy body splash onto Charlie Dempsey. But this is where we got That's where I tried to go for a pin, and maybe would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for the meddling quarter boys and girls. Well, mostly a quarter boy, which was Miles Bourne, that put the ropes right, put Charlie Dempsey's legs on the rope. That's where the referee was like, I saw what happened. Like, you put his leg on the ropes, didn't you? This is where both Miles Bourne and Brent Sinclair was denying it. Like, no, like I didn't. And then Brent Sinclair was like, no, he didn't. Like, I'm telling you, like it was like Charlie Dempsey naturally put his legs on the rope. Like, he was trying to point to you that his legs was on the rope, and the referee's like, I'm not born yesterday. I saw what I saw, and I want you out of the arena right now and back to y'all's locker room. And so they're like, no, like please please change your mind. This is where the referee's like, no, my mind's already been made up. This is where we got Charlie Dempsey was very frustrated on the matter. This is where he tried to go for a German suplex. But this is where Javon Evans would flip right out of it, like standing up. This is where he throws. This is where he ran right to the right side, but this is where he did Lord what's his name? This is where he lured what's his name? Charlie Dempsey right to the right side by playing a game of what's that? A bullfight, play a game of bullfight, wrestling style. Like he's like Taro Ole. That's where he went right through the ropes, like missing him by an inch because he just not like Javon Evans right now. But that's where the Javon Evans hit another crossbody. But this time right onto the outside on the bottom right side. Luckily, he had the chairs to break his fall. Like that's where he was like. That's where it's like, okay, I guess I finally took care of him. But this is where we got. But this is where then we got the referee was distracted by somebody right onto the upper corner side, so he didn't see what was going to happen to Javon Evans. He got belly to belly slammed by the return of Tavion Heights. He must have been he must have finished up with All Japan Pro Wrestling, was it, or Pro Wrestling Noah, or what wrestling company he was competing in. But yeah, he must have finished up like from there because he was back tonight. This is where he threw Javon Evans back in the ring, and then it turned out it was Ren Sinclair that was distracting the referee, saying like, "You cannot reject us out of my. We didn't do nothing. We're innocent. We can prove it." That's where then we got but that's where the Charlie Dempsey then went right on top of Javon Evans as soon as he got back in the ring. He got the 1, 2, 3 in the 5th round. That's where he retained his Heritage Cup championship with them getting the two out of the 3 falls into the match, and the winner of this match and still the Heritage Cup champion, Charlie Dempsey. And a humongous congratulations to Charlie Dempsey. I think he gets the 2nd place spot, tying with Julia, against Chelsea Green. Like when Javon Evans was wrestling like if he was a main eventer. And I think he should get another shot at the NXT championship. Just saying, because he has what it takes to become a superstar in this industry. Yeah. But he has the talent. He has he has the look. He has the edge. No Adam Copeland. He went to the other company. But he has it all. Like my point is, like he has that aura as a main eventer, if that makes sense. But that's where we got a very scary story, like a very scary children's story that was told by the TNA's very own spooky Rosemary, and unfortunately she and Wendy Chu did not face Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley tonight. They save it all next week, and then we're going to be hearing more about that in just a moment. But yeah, I was like, I was like saying like, but the good thing about this, we starting to see more of Rosemary, and she's going to be in more vignettes. Like if she haven't left TNA and she's look like if she's doing a little vignette like on the Nashville-based promotion, rather than have them fighting again on the have them to fight on tonight on this very interesting NXT show. Like, and it felt like if this was the debut show rather than being on October 1st, like for the CW. But let me know. But let me know in the comments down below if it gave you that same feeling or not. And also, it also felt like a pay-per-view as well, even though the men's and women's even though the NXT men's and women's championships were not on the line, nor the NXT women's North American and the men's North American championship was on the line. But it had that feel like if it was a pay-per-view, but with extra segments, like if it was a weekly show. That was the only thing that would not confuse with a wrestling pay-per-view. That's the only thing that wasn't confused from a pay-per-view is because of the more segments that it had. But but this is where we got like who was the surprise that Tony D'Angelo had for Obafemi. But before we go get into that, this is where we got This is where we got All Ego Ethan Page and was in the backstage interview with Sarah Schreiber. This is where he was like it is where it's like here I am like being asked like what I think about the last man standing match on the main event. Like I personally. He was like, I just want to personally ask both the participants to take a good hard look onto the current NXT champion. The same man that should be thanked of the era that we all currently living in right now. And we're going to continue it even after October 1st when we finally make our debut on the CW network. And the nope is not the trick that era, or whoop that. No, it was the whoop that era, not the trick that era. What am I even saying right now? Whoop that era, like in this word. Then he was like it's the All Ego era, and this where that she was like, and this where then he's like I want, and this where then Sarah Schreiber then asked like who do you think is gonna win? This where he was like I don't know if I don't know who's gonna win but. in personal reasons and both in professional reasons, but whoever does, like they're definitely not going to be doing like what they are going to do to each other, like on the debut show on the CW. And but I think that like if I had to choose, I guess it's gonna be Pete Dunne. Like he looks like over, like he's gonna probably be in the upper hands. Is where he was like, but like well, whoever, like it don't matter, like whoever is gonna who's gonna destroy one another, that's gonna be whoever, because after all, it is the last man standing match, and whoever the man is actually last man standing, all I have to do right now is October 1st is like to pick up the scraps that whoever that is the last one standing, or whoever that truly in. And then this is where we heard more main roster WWE wrestlers are going to be making the trip to the NXT show in Chicago, Illinois on the October 1st edition of NXT when they make their CW debut. And it was none other than the EST, Bianca Belair, and her tag team partner Jay Cargill that had a conversation with what's his name, with Shawn Michaels via Twitter by tweeting out like their interest of being the part of the NXT debut show. But this is where we got who exactly was Obafemi's fighter of the night. It was none other than Hammerstone, I believe. Yeah, it was none other than Hammerstone. Like it was like whoever those that watch TNA, y'all probably know who I'm talking about. Even though I haven't really watched the guy on TNA, but I heard so much about him. I was like, wow, like I did not expected him. Like I expected a Moose or somebody that was a big man on TNA, but this is a underrated shock of the night. But yeah, he was bringing the fight to Obafemi. Like his word, then he threw him right the outside, even dive onto him until we got Obafemi was striking right back by slapping some chops right to the chest. That's where he managed to throw him right back in the ring. This is where Obafemi then whack him with a right clothesline from behind onto Hammerstone is where he starts stepping on his back. Then there's our elbowing him right to the midsection is where then he hit a second one, like if he's like a 300-pounder Dolph Ziggler, or should I say Nick Nemeth, which he's currently wrestling on the TNA roster right now. And I'm not sure if that was a teaser right there and a reference like to the former world heavyweight champion. Like I don't know what to tell you right now, but this is where we got an exploder suplex from Obafemi that sent sent Hammerstone right to the bottom right side. This is where he's like I am. Like, yeah, I'm going to show you why they call me the Emperor. And this is where he hits a running European uppercut right to the face. That's where he slams him right to the middle middle of the ring. That's where he started hitting him with this, Cobra clutch, or not Cobra clutch, more likely a chin-up headlock or whatever maneuver it's called. But before I continue on to that, I'm going to be right back. Stone that somehow got out of the headlock. This is where he slams Obafemi. This is where Obafemi then hit a slam of his own. This is where he did over a pin, like into a gorilla. I believe it was a gorilla press flapjack slam kind of maneuver. This is where we got drag over a pin, but he only got a 2.3 attempt. This is where, but this is where then we try to stomp onto Hammerstone like with a triple force. But this is where we got Hammerstone grab onto him, because if he got hit, like it would be a very painful journey. Like even for him, for being a big man, this is where he slammed him right back first, right into the right onto the canvas. The canvas. I'm right. That's where he grabbed him on his neck, trying to go for a choke slam. But Obafemi to try to fight back over a choke slam. That's where Booker T hilariously said, "Oh yeah," and that's where we got both men start screaming at each other until we got Obafemi beat him in the war of screams. That's where then he started squeezing his hand that was grabbing around his neck. That's where then he and try to throw him right to the bottom right side. But once he tried to spear him right through it, this is where we got Hammerstone. Then move out of the way. He hits a forearm right to the face where he hit the knife edge chop, which that made Gunther displeased like for seeing that. He's like, even though it's not from the other company, but still they used to be in a competition. And then if he comes to Monday Night Raw, he's gonna be having another thing coming like for hitting that move. But yeah, I'm gonna go get him on the number 10 spot of the night. That's where then we got him then hit belly to belly suplex onto Obafemi. After that, that's where then I believe twice to be the exact. Is where the last time it was at the upper right side. This is where then we got Hammerstone's like, hey, isn't that time for the choke slam? This is where they grab him around his neck. This is where he tried to choke slam Obafemi. But this is where then we got Obafemi then kind of out of it. This, try to counter it, but he managed to grab him down. This is where he did choke slam him, actually. Yeah, he slammed him, lifted him up in the air, like the second person to ever do that next to the guy that sent him to fight him, which is the Don of NXT himself. This is where he tried to go for a pin. However, he only got a 2.8 count. This is where he tried to go for his finisher, but it's where we got Obafemi hit him face first and a flapjack. He ducked out of a clothesline. This is where he hits him with that high-flying, tossing back suplex by the Emperor. This is where Obafemi's like, I got you wherever I want him. I'm going to beat you like if I put my title on the line. But even though I did not do it, like that's just a statement on to make a statement to the Don, like you can send every single hitman that you know, like I'm gonna make him fall from grace like every single time, and this is where he did so right here with the pop-up powerbomb after that flying back suplex to get the win. And the winner of this match, Obafemi, and this is where then we got the D'Angelo family were very ticked off that the Hitman did not successfully got the job done. This is where we saw Tony D'Angelo storming out of the locker room they were in. This is where we got Luca Cristofino and Adriano Rizzo and